All right, here we are, back at the table on this lovely Sunday with me, your host, Shub. Now, this is a little different. A couple things are different, actually. Quite a bit, a few things are different. One, we finally achieved and unlocked Twitch affiliate status with all of your help. So thank you, everyone who has joined me on these Sundays to try to build this community to the point where I could qualify for that. So I am a real kid now, and I'm excited for that. I'm grateful. We've got a bunch of new things. We've got new emotes. We've got a few other things. Hopefully the ads won't be too terribly intrusive. We'll see. Never done anything like that before. So pardon any dust. We'll iron out any wrinkles as we go. But I thought, since it's a brave new world, let's do something a little different. Normally, what I try to do on this channel is show up with a game on the table. I may not know much about it, but it's on the table and it's ready to play. And I've glanced over the rule book. Not today. Today, this showed up at my door yesterday evening, like at 6 o'clock in the evening. And I said, normally these kinds of things, if I wanted to try to feature it because it just showed up, I would wait a week, I would get it on the table, I would get my eyeballs on it, get it all unpacked and ready to go. And then I would have it on the table and we'd be able to experience it. But I said, this is brand new, hot off the presses, right up through the door, still in the shrink, haven't even unshrinked it. And I said, why don't we just do a live unboxing, but not even a live unboxing. I'm not just gonna unbox this. I am going to try to get it to set up. I'm gonna try to get at least the training mission playable and then stumble through that with the rulebook in hand. And it's gonna be very, it's gonna be much more loose. It's gonna be very informal. And we're just gonna see how this goes and just see what we have in the box. Cause I honestly don't know. I bought this, I got this off Kickstarter. The game seemed really cool. It is at its core of discovery is a logic and deduction puzzle. And it's a co-op game. It plays 1 to 4. They say it's like 45 to 75 minutes and ages 14 and up because the material, some of the materials are fairly adult style. So we don't want to go too young on the age for this. But the backstory for Core of Discovery is that we are in an alternate reality version of the Lewis and Clark expedition era. And the president has asked Lewis and Clark to map, of course, the route east to west. But in this version, we are not abusing the indigenous cultures. We are working together with them because we have because A, we're not jerks in this version of the timeline, but B, there's a common enemy. There are monsters. There are actual monsters in this version of the world, of this timeline that we're working together to try to defeat and control and contain. So I'll read the back of the box, which says, take command of Lewis and Clark's Core of Discovery expedition and lead them on a cross-country mission to explore the land and kill demonic monsters. You'll have to form an uneasy alliance with the local indigenous nations to send the creatures back to whatever hell spawned them, all while using logic and deduction to acquire resources needed to survive the never-ending challenges posed by the harsh terrain. So yes, it is a survival puzzle as well. Not just how do we find and defeat these monsters, but how do we not die ourselves of starvation or thirst in the process. So there are multiple chapters to this game. The maps that you play, there are dozens of them, and they're spread out over the chapters, but then there are additional expansions that add new scenarios that you're going to be playing through. There are, and each scenario has its own little wrinkle on the game system. So everything you might know about one system, some of it, the core basics of it will carry over. but the new wrinkles will be different ways that you have to kind of explore the puzzle space and maybe act a little differently than any of your previous strategies to get through them. So um, the maps are once you play them, I guess technically you know where the things are. But what I'm hearing from not just the designers and the artists that worked on this game, but also the people playing this game so far, is that there are so many maps and that there are so many different variables that you are tracking to try to keep track of while you're playing the game, that even the same maps, once because you don't necessarily know which one you're pulling at a given time, and to try to remember this grid of icons from map to map to map. And I think, what is this? This is a 7x7 grid. That's a lot of icons to try to memorize and parse for every single permutation of this game. So while technically you might eventually get to the point where you remember every one of these maps to that degree, I mean, you've gotten your money's worth at that point, even then. But beyond that, they are continuing to put out new maps because the maps are in standard paper sizes. So you can print off on whatever cardstock or whatever version you want all the new expansion maps that are coming out. They may come out with new printed versions of them themselves eventually. I got 2 of these. I've got the Mega Map Pack, and I also have the Mega Foggy Map Pack. And these were these further expand the expansions. So the expansion content are just those new scenarios I was talking about. You start out with 2 basic scenarios, but they're gonna test you. The fauna and the flora. So we're gonna start out playing fauna, and then we'll move into flora. But then there's the expansions are things like Insecta, Maldonado, Vameter, whatever that is, and Fog, as in fog of war, fog. So all of those we're gonna continually enrich the play space and change the way the game operates. Finally, what I have here underneath this, or on the other side of this white piece of paper, is exactly one of those print and play maps. Because what I didn't want to do is crack this box open on stream and play a map that you're going to get out of the box. I didn't want to mess with the core box material on stream because that is technically spoilery. You're going to see a map that you're also going to get, and I didn't want to do that if I did that. So what I did instead is the developers, who are Off the Page Games, that's who makes this game, with the rather unfortunate scenario of these idiotic tariff situations we find ourselves in here in the United States, they said, look, we're not going to ask you to cover extra costs, which honestly, I think for people in the United States, they should have to pay their fair share. And if that means dealing with their fair share of the tariffs, I think that's only fair, frankly. But they were being, like a lot of publishers, trying to do their best from a business perspective to try to keep the weight off the customer as much as they can, noble. And they said, we're not going to try to raise the cost, and especially in fulfillment of our current stuff. Instead, what we're going to do is we're just going to release a map pack that is called the Tariff Map Pack. It's just additional bonus maps, print and play. And you can, if you want it and you want to support us and you want to try to help us offset some of our expenses because of the tariffs, you can buy that map pack. And if you don't, that's fine. Don't buy the map pack. You're totally fine. You're not going to miss anything. It's just extra fluff to add to your game. So I went ahead and bought that. And so the map that I have printed out underneath here, I have not physically seen. I randomized it all off screen. I printed it all off screen. It printed face down. I left it face down. I have not seen it. I have not even looked at or even seen it out of my peripheral. I have no idea what icons are where on this map, so it should play as a very complete surprise. Now, I intend on trying to play that map today. My minimum goal for this stream, if we get enough time, is to at least play through the tutorial, which everyone will play first. So I feel like if I'm going to spoil anything, the tutorial is the okay thing to spoil, because, and I may not even spoil that. I might just go jump straight to the map. We'll see how it goes. But I think let's get into this, and let's just see what this thing looks like. This is, I should have mentioned at the beginning, the version that I backed is the Ultimate Edition. It includes the board that holds the map cards, the big map sheets. This version is made out of wood. It includes wooden tokens, which is an upgrade. player trades, token trades, and then for those 4 expansions I talked about. So I have all 4 expansions in here, and then I have the booster packs for those, plus I have the tariff map pack. So I think I actually have all gameplay content for Core of Discovery in hand. So let's pop into that. Let me do one thing here real quick. I forgot to put something in so I can hear my alerts. There we go. That should work. Hopefully I can hear the alerts. So let's cut into this. I think I've given enough time for some stragglers to join us. So let's see what's in this box, shall we? So you're seeing this live along with me. I've not unboxed or even watched an unboxing of this game yet. Okay. So far, so good. The art, by the way, is amazing. This is actually based off of a graphic novel that kind of goes into detail of the alternate universe of this game. So that's why the art is the way it is. It is to tie into that graphic novel, and you could just pick up that novel and read it and be familiar if you're starting off with a board game. So here we go. Let's see what we got. Suction. There we go. Oh. Okay. All right, what do we have here? Oops. Luckily, we caught major errors on some of the maps before we shipped the game to you, but not before it was shrink wrapped. So we included everything you need to correct the errors in this package. First, find these maps in the fauna folder. And if you also got the bonus Kickstarter maps, which I did, find maps 1011 and 1016 as well. Now write a big X over those specific maps so you never use them. Okay. And then finally add the maps in this package to replace those maps. Cool. Great. Cool. So no big deal. These are maps that we would have been included in the base game anyway. So now we can just replace the ones that were a problem. So, and I can understand why, and we'll get into the details. We have an ad break coming up for those who are not subscribed to the channel. So I may pause, take a drink of water while everybody's watching the ad break. Now, it's Mother's Day. I don't expect viewership is going to be super high today. Hi to all you moms out there who might be watching this later, but that's why we're recording it. You can always watch it on YouTube later. Okay. We have 5 seconds left. So what I may do is I may just pause right there, and we'll see you back in just a second. So this is, I believe, is part of the expansion content, but I won't take a guess on that. So I'll just pop all this out and get rid of this sheet, and we'll move on for now. And we'll figure out what stuff goes where and all of that as we go. Cool. I'll just start stacking those over there. This is that gorgeous wooden, I don't know how well you can see the detail here, but you can kind of see the shininess of it as I tilt it towards the light and away from the light. This is printed on, I believe this is UV printed onto wooden, multi-layer wooden components. Oh, it's even got the cool logo on the back. Well, that's beautiful. That is well worth the money. I really like that. I couldn't produce that myself, and I even have the tools to do most of that, except for the UV printer. Though it has caught my eye that there is now a consumer-friendly version of one of those available in the market. So I may yet relent in the coming years and pick one up so I can do this sort of thing for myself. But that is just beautiful. I am very, very happy to own the wooden version of that. So this is where all those map tiles are slotted into. This is where the main action of the game happens, is on that. That's the wilderness that we will be exploring throughout the game. Looks like just some stability cardboard. Very cool. Okay, this looks like instruction tiles for or cards for the different types of games we're going to be playing. This looks like it's something that every player gets, but since we're playing as a solo player, we'll only have to pull one of those. That's good. Okay, we'll put those up here for now. Here's the rule book I was talking about. Hefty book. Hopefully it's mostly reference. That would be nice. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's reference, but it's also instructions that are per scenario. I glanced at it online, but I didn't remember the kind of the order that it goes in. So that's good. Ooh, and here we got some expansion specific sheets. Expansion 1, expansion 2, expansion 3. We're not going to play any of the expansions today, obviously. Expansion 4. Okay. Well, we have little addenda rule books for all of the core 4 expansions. Okay, cool. Okay, now these are the map packs. That's why they're in these folders. This is the fauna scenario maps. This is so that you don't accidentally see the maps before you play them. They're all stored in these folders. They go in there. So flora has its own. I'm loving the art on flora too. I should have shown off the art on fauna first. This looks like it's a minotaur, a group of minotaurs attacking us. So that's gonna be super great. Okay, and then here we have flora, which is a giant, and it looks like very giant, sentient plant monster that is slowly picking us off one by one and having a lunch with us. Not looking forward to that. But we're not playing flora today. We're going to play fauna. We're going to go after some minotaurs. And then here's insecta. I'm not a big monster, like an insect monster person, so I'll probably try to avoid this expansion for a while because, but very cool, very cool. And I believe this is the Hidden Trader expansion when you're playing multiplayer. Maldonado. So we're not exactly sure who the Hidden Trader is going to be. And then this is the meter, which I know nothing about. No clue whatsoever. Maybe it's Bigfoot? Judging by the icon? Don't know. Have no idea. And then this is the map pack for fog. So again, let me I'll hold them tight so nothing comes out, but I'll turn them sideways so you can see. These are all the map pack, the different scenarios. And each one of these have maps in them. So that's what I'm talking about. There's just the game ships. Obviously this is the ultimate edition of the game, but the game ships with an immense amount of maps to play through. So I wouldn't worry too much about there being replayability problems, besides the fact that you can always download new maps and print them yourself and play those. So there's always going to be new content, I think, for the foreseeable. And then we have a double layered cardstock kind of game board. This is like tracking the stuff you pick up, your water, the fire that you create. These are the tasks that we have to create. We'll get into all of that as we go. It gives you a little bit of reminder as to how the game plays, the different phases and so on. So that's going to be a core component of the game as well. Oh yeah, the game trays. I'm so glad I backed these. I got for this version. The wooden token components. Let's get into that. Set that aside for a second. And just take a look. Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever seen that approach. So this is a cardboard tray that gives you a printed view. I'll try to tilt this up so you can see. I'll put the lid back on it so you can see this first. I think that's right. Yeah, wow. That's an interesting approach. I've never seen that. So this is a cardboard insert embedded in the middle of the plastic tray. So you get the full art, but you don't have to print a wooden component to do it and give players a sturdy, reusable tray. So that's a pretty cool approach to that. And then inside here are all the premium components. So these are the wooden components. These are various resource types we're going to collect throughout the game. Looks like the wood went kind of everywhere. I'm going to have to clean that up. That's all right. That is perfectly okay. Wood went everywhere. So let's clean out this wood slot. No time like the present to get this sorted out. We have berries, we have wood, we have like sticks, and then we have wood. Is that what this is? Don't know. It kind of looks like large pieces of wood. We have stone, and then we have these skulls, whatever they mean. And then we have these cool vines. Those are gorgeous. So these are vines. And then you have mushrooms and some sort of flower. And then these are your tokens for water. And a few other things, fire and lock tokens and other sundry things. So let me just quickly get this sorted out. Yeah. But that's all right. That's what we're here to do, right? Get this thing game ready. This is the somewhat unglamorous part of it. Okay, I think that about does it. Vines, okay, cool. All right, so let me pop the lid back on that for now while we move on to bigger and badder. That is pretty genius, not gonna lie. Okay, back to here. This is I think this is the bottom layer, single layer tray. So we're gonna pull the lid off of that. Ooh, okay. These are color coded and kind of everywhere. So we'll just try to put all the colors together for now. Hopefully that's the right thing to do. Maldonado, fauna. I don't really know where all of these are supposed to go. I'm feeling like I should probably avoid, yeah, this looks like these are like category toppers so that you don't have to worry about trying to track down all the right stuff. You just pull the thing that you need for the campaign that you're playing. I don't really know which is which. Oh, okay. Well, there are icons on the cards. So that's a good hint. Yeah, that matches. Okay. That matches? Yeah, that matches. This is the Minotaur. Okay, so that's fauna. That's good. Okay. The only thing I'm not 100% sure on is this flora. Haven't found those cards yet. So that's the meter. Where do I get that from? Ah, this is this one. Okay, I get it. I'm starting to understand now. This is fauna. This is flora, rather. So we'll go flora over here. This is core game. That's the reason. So these back two are core game. I get it. Okay, cool. Don't really know about the icon or the token packs. We'll figure that out as we go, I guess. Which one these are supposed to go in. I think. Oh, that's going to be the meter. Okay. There are tokens in there that look like that symbol. That's good. This looks like it might be this fog. I don't know. I'm sure the rule book will tell us, though. So I won't worry about that. What's under here? Oh, these are the map tokens. Okay, cool. So let me show you those. Those are cool. So these are the cardboard. Oh, these are wood. Oh, nice. These are wood, too. These cover the various locations. And before we start, we're going to put all of those out. In fact, let's do it now. We know we're going to need to, right? So we'll cover up all these location spots on the board with these undiscovered location covers. And on the backs are little sunshines. We'll talk about what the sunshines are and how they work. I've watched a couple videos about this game just to have some place to start, but that's all I got. So much stuff everywhere. But I have to say, there's not that much stuff. For all of the different campaigns and whatever, there's just these little pockets of individual stuff. And you don't have to really worry about the details. You just pull out the part that you're playing and ignore the rest. So I'd say this is a really effective insert so far. The only thing I'm a little worried about is how well this is going to fare when it's stored vertically, because that's how I store my games. But everything, all the components and stuff are all in their own little baggies and stuff. So it's not like it's going to go flying everywhere. Should be pretty easy to take care of. Now, I don't know, is that countdown for the ad? Is that the current ad break? Or is that the ad break coming up? I don't know. It's a mystery. I guess everyone will just have to tell me eventually. And I may not get viewers today, and that's okay. It's Mother's Day. Y'all are taking care of your parents. I get you. I get you. And for those of you who find Mother's Day to be a challenging time of year for yourselves, know that I am here and that I understand that it's not always a moment of happiness for people. So I hear you and I see you. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully this gives you a nice distraction, if nothing else, while we're here. So I think I'm going to set this box aside for a moment. We are going to pull the flora, the meter. Yeah, Maldonado is the Hidden Trader expansion. It just said so on here. Fog versions of Flora and Vermeter. Maldonado Hidden Trader again. Huh. Oh, on the back. Okay. So you can play Maldonado both Hidden Trader and cooperative. Oh, that's neat. All right. So you're not kind of out of luck if you buy a Maldonado and you want to play it cooperatively. You're not screwed. That's nice. What do we have in the back of that? Same thing. Okay, so we have 4 Maldonados. Vermeter, Flora, Insecta, Fog. Okay. I don't really have a card for this. Maybe the back of Flora? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, back of Flora. Ooh, I just bent one. That's not good. I'll straighten that out. There we go. Thankfully, I didn't crease it. I'm just going to massage it back into place here. There we go. Okay, so we've got Fauna. This is the version of the game we're playing today. Okay, we'll get into those details. But I can put these back in here for now. I can also put back all the different map packs except for Fauna, and that's good. And I think we'll go ahead and take core game components out. Ooh, cool. Cards. It even tells you, I should mention, it even tells you these are the little dividers inside the bottom of the base tray. And it even tells you on the back of these tiles what goes in them. So if you're worried about missing the component or something's mixed together, you can figure out what to do. Oh, I should say that I don't think I'm worried about this tray not working vertically because I forgot about this clear divider. So that was actually designed to help hold everything in place while it's vertical. Oh, there's a giant gold coin in here. This must be a backer exclusive or possibly an ultimate edition add-on, but this must be a first player marker or active player marker. Wow. Look at that thing. That's pretty. That's huge. Core of Discovery on the back. Beautiful. We'll see what that's all about when we get into that. I don't want to know what that is. It's some sort of screaming critter. That's not something I'm terribly interested in exploring. Okay, so those are all of our core game components. Put that back. And then there are specifically fauna stuff that we want to pull out as well, because we're playing fauna eventually. So that's it, though. We leave everything else alone. So all of this goes back in. And again, I haven't looked at any of this. So the fact that I'm able to figure any of this out without advanced knowledge of what was in this box or what to expect, I think that in and of itself speaks volumes about how much time and energy they put into making this product useful. And like, you can onboard to this very easily, at least so far. And I'm not being paid for any of this. This is not a sponsored stream. There's nothing. This is me just observing kind of how it feels. Okay. So that's that. Oh, these are the mistakes. So I should keep that out. These are the expansions and the as of yet unseen map. I'll leave that out in case we decide to go that direction. Okay. Okay, so quickly, I'll just put this back over here and out of the way so we are not trying to wrestle space. And we'll put our little plastic shield over here for later. All right, now we're getting somewhere. I don't need a token tray. I thought I might, but the game being the Ultimate Edition came with one, so I can just put those off the side here. We'll put that off to this side for now. You can't really see it though, so I'll put it into range, as it were. Still can't really, oh, there you go. You can still see it, okay. Massage, 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 massage. Cool. Okay, that'll work. That's good. All right, now we know we have this to deal with. Now, the thing that I'm a little worried about is how do I do this without seeing the maps? Can I peek at the corners? Are there map numbers that I can get at? Map numbers. This is a training mission. Map numbers. Aha, there are. Okay, good. So I'm not going to look. Don't look if you don't want to see a corner. Actually, I don't think you can see this. Oh, good. What I'm doing right now is without peeking, I'm trying to get at the number that's in this upper corner of the map, so I know which of the maps I need to replace without actually seeing it. Map 102. Find map 102 and 104 of fauna. Okay, well, that's interesting because there's 103. There's 101. Did they just omit this? They might have just omitted it. Oh, they might have pulled it. Ooh, that's sexy. Okay. I don't want to know. I don't want to be spoiled. I might have to do this off camera. We'll see. Let's see. What do we have here? Keep that there. 102. Okay. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this slightly off camera, and I'm not even going to look in a moment here. Okay, so we have 102 up on top. I'm going to see what I can do about staring at the screen while I do this slotting of the map into place. I successfully did it. I pulled it out of the pack that came on the side, and I slid it into the little container that came with the base game. Now I'm going to see if I got it in the right order. 102. Training mission 101. Great. Okay. And now this is fauna 116. That's probably way back in the back of the stack then. So it turns out that they didn't ship the bad maps. They pulled the bad maps. So there was just a gap in my numbering, which I think is phenomenal. That is great. And I just did the same thing, didn't see that. Okay, that's great. Huh, how strange though. The instructions say, if you also got the 10 bonus Kickstarter maps, find maps 111 and 116 as well. But I didn't, but I didn't receive updated versions of these. That's weird. Find maps 102 and 104. Do I have 104? I don't know. I don't have to worry about it for right now. I don't have 104. My expansion pack only came with 2 maps. Unless these are double-sided. Yep, that's what they are. Okay. There's so many maps. Okay, 116 and what? 111? 111? Let's see. I don't think I put 111 in here. There is a 111 in this map pack, though. Okay. Well, if I run into a big problem, I'll reach out to the developers then, I guess, and figure out if I didn't get something I should have gotten. I think I'm okay, though. The training map is in here. I did not see anything that I think would be a spoiler. So I think we're into setup. Let's get this thing set up and tabled, shall we? Get this thing running. I'm still deciding whether I want to do the training mission or not. What I may do is just film it. And since there's not a whole lot of people here right now anyway, I'm going to probably on the YouTube video, what I'll do is I'll just mark a little preamble spoiler before we get into the training, and then people can choose to skip it if they don't want to see it. And then I will probably then, after I play the training mission on stream here, then if we have the time, I'll play the map I printed. That'll be the path. That way, folks that want to see the training and don't care about a spoiler, they can watch it. You know about it. You'll be able to see the training mission. That's only a minor spoiler because it's the very first mission. And let's be fair, the training mission is really just about learning the mechanics. It's not about winning or losing a game. So that's something to think about. I thought that there was some sort of folder that we were supposed to get that helps us to put maps into this tray. And I don't think I got that. Let's see what the rulebook says. Map folder, concealer card. Oh, that was this white piece that I thought was just filler. Oh, okay. Ooh, they should actually they should put something on this that tells you it's not trash. No, I'm glad I looked. I'm glad I didn't just chuck it. Yeah, that would have been troubling. Okay, so then we have the supply board. We have all these cards. We have tokens, resource tokens. Okay. All right. So let's get the training. Let's just try this out. So we have our training pack. We have our little concealer card. This says training mission on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift the corner of this ever so slightly. And we're going to slide this concealer card up on top. And then we're going to take the training map and the concealer card out. So now we have the training map underneath this concealer card. And we take our tray and we feed both into the tray. This is my first time loading a map into the tray, so it's going to take me a minute to learn the best way to achieve that. But, ooh, I just unstuck the glue slightly. Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, I'll have to refasten that. But here we go. Now, I think it's supposed to seat all the way down, and it doesn't. So let's see if I can't. make that seat all the way down. Okay, well, I don't think that's enough to really mess with the conceal of the map. So I'll just, except of course, pulling out the concealer card, I have inadvertently pulled out the map as well. So I'll slide that back down. Oh, okay. So the card itself can't really go in that deep, but the map card was able to go in no problem. Okay. So, okay, it was fiddly the first time, but that's just me learning how to do this whole thing. Now what we have is a loaded map card that I've managed to not see. And now I can actually play the training mission properly blind, like I should be. Okay, get a drink of water here. And you know what? Here's how we're going to do this. Since we have this new concealer card at our disposal, I'll slide it underneath this printed map that I created, and we'll put it on the fauna pack for now, so that we can just load that in later. Okay. All right, so this is all of it. Like, let's put this underneath here for now. And then we'll move that up so that it's kind of central on the screen. Okay. And then we have the rule book. We have these card decks. Now let's talk card decks next. The training mission says I'm supposed to play with the character of Lewis. Okay, I will do that. And I'm supposed to get the compass card, I think is what that means. Cool. The very first page of this rulebook, after the hey, what's in the box, is an anatomy sheet. I'll even kind of preview that, right? Anatomy sheet that kind of shows how all the cards are structured and all of that, which is just amazing. And I say this because I've read a fair amount of rule books. So far, hunting for the breakdown of what the card is that you're looking at and how to actually parse the information. Most game developers, when they build these manuals, will put the component in context with the information that they're trying to provide for you. Makes sense, but that means I'm scattered all across the book and I'm flipping pages like crazy trying to find this information, and they put it, from the look of it, all in one spot. I love that choice. Okay, setup. Choose the map, did that. Cover the map, did that. Place the map tokens into the holes, did that. Remove the concealer page, did that. Did it in a different order, but that's okay. Place a rock resource. That's probably what I was supposed to do. So don't put these in yet. I put these tokens in before I loaded the map in, which means I couldn't have flipped it face up. And I think the concealer card and having the board sit face up would have really helped. So lesson learned for next time. Then remove the concealer page, place the rock resource token on top of the path. Okay, yeah, rock resource tokens. Where is that rock resource token? Is that just the regular rock? It probably is. Yeah, okay. So it's saying the rock resource token is where'st? Peak is at E5. Well, you can't really see it on the board. I can barely see it, and I'm right in front of it. And I'll move these little tokens out of the way. Running down the very left and bottom edge of the board are these really unobtrusive, almost impossible to see grid locators. And I'm sure they did that for thematic reasons so that it wouldn't obstruct and wouldn't get in the way of the theme. But I'm like, okay, now where is E? Oh, E is here, and 5 is here, so that means the peak is here. Don't push that out of the way. That is interesting, because it says peak at E5. And I did that. That's E5. But that's not how it looks on the map. I don't know. That's fine, whatever. I'll go with what they say. I start with 3 water, so I'll get that out now. Okay. Yeah, we're at 3 water. By the way, these tokens look lovely. They are already like very thematically done, which I love. Okay, and then finding a few extra tokens that are scattered in here that shouldn't be here. Fine. I'll clear all that up. Okay. I'll put this behind it. Okay. So that's where the peak is, at least according to the map. E5. So, okay, so what that means is this is, as we talked about, a logic and deduction puzzle. So there are rules. There is a mountain range somewhere on this map. And what that means is that you can't traverse a mountain range. You go around it. So if you encounter the mountain, a mountain space, then you have to divert around it. All of the mountains are connected, at least on the fauna map, which means once you find one, you know you found the edge of the mountainous region on the map, because there won't be other mountains before. The other thing is, or anywhere else, the other thing is, they never put the mountain on the edge of the map. It's always in the center somewhere on the map. That again is just the fauna rules. So we'll see if that changes in other versions of the game. But for this version in fauna, that's the situation. Okay. There are many other rules, but like, there's like, if you find wood, then you know certain information is true because you found wood, therefore XYZ. We'll get into all of that as we play the logic rules of this whole thing. Did that. But the peak, this is what I was trying to say. The peak is, they're telling you that the mountain peak, the peak you can see through the canopy of the trees, because it is so large, is located there. No, they're not telling you where else the mountain is, but they are telling you that location is the highest point of the mountain. So you know some information, but you don't know a whole lot. Okay. Player choose their character and gear cards. Got it. Well, that means we got to get into these decks. Misfortune. Threats. Well, let's do the fancy coin first, because we all love a coin. That is very heavy and very cool. Very happy with that. Okay. These are threat deck cards. Cool. I don't know where I'm putting those yet, but let's just get all the different types of them sorted out. More threat cards. Are these the core threat, and then those are the fauna threat, probably? Yeah. Okay, well, I'll leave them separate for the moment. Okay, these are kill monster cards. These are unique to fauna. So the way it works is we're going to be searching. We're going to be traveling through this map here. And we're going to be looking, in part, we're going to be looking for the monsters we have to kill. The full fauna map, and I don't think we're actually playing the full fauna map when we play the training. It's mostly just to learn the mechanics. But the full fauna map, you win by killing 3 minotaurs. So you're looking for where they are, but you don't, just because you found them doesn't mean you know what to do when you do find them. You don't know how to defeat them. For that, you need the help of the locals who have been already dealing with them for quite some time. So the locals have studied them. The locals know what it's vulnerable to and how to attack it. So you got to find those local forts and then learn from them how to take down the beast, you know? So A, yes, find the minotaurs. But B, then find the forts who tell you how to kill the minotaurs. And then return and kill the minotaurs before you succumb to hunger and thirst. If you manage to pull that off, you win the game. I will say, judging by the initial reviews of this game is very hard. At least from a beginning perspective, people learning how to play this game. That said, it's not hard in the sense that it is punishing. It is hard in that it is a tight game. And if you are not up on the strategy, if you're not thinking about the problems well enough, you're going to lose. So this game rewards repeat play and taking chances and seeing what works and what doesn't, making informed decisions about the challenges that you face and saying, is the juice worth the squeeze? Just because I have the resources at the moment to pass one of these challenges and avoid the bad stuff that would happen if I didn't pass the challenge doesn't mean that's the decision that I should make. Sometimes you want to reserve the resources that you have that you would spend to successfully pass that challenge on other things that may be better, that may help ensure your victory. So it's not a given that that you should always pass a challenge if you can. You might just strategically take your lumps because doing other things instead is the better move. So I'm moving the fauna map off the side because the card that came in this pack says training mission. And that information is far more readily necessary for this mission. So I'll avoid that for now. Okay, here are our characters. We have Lewis. Lewis is a researcher. And you can exhaust Lewis before you explore. And if you do, if you gain a resource or water while you're exploring, you would gain 2 instead of 1. So there are explore options that you will take. There are explore locations that you will find that grant resources when you go there, like I was able to forge a stick or whatever. That's what they're talking about. That said, there are other locations that don't grant you resources. So this tapping Lewis is taking a chance that you're going to get resources in that location. There's ways to know for sure that that's what's going to be there, and that's when you definitely will tap Lewis to do that. But you may just take a swing in the dark. It's 50-50 shot sometimes and just see what you get. So that's Lewis. And of course, if you have Lewis, you have Clark. And Clark is a leader. And you exhaust him to swap 1 gear from your reserve and add it to your play area. Nice. So he's versatile. Okay. We also have York. York is resourceful. You exhaust York, and then you don't pay the resource or water to explore paths protected by monsters. Oh. You, let's see, exhaust before explore specifically, and you guess the next terrain correctly. And if you do that, you can immediately build a shelter there for free. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, so building shelter is a good way in this game to avoid exhaustion. And what it means by that is if you build a shelter, you can store more stuff. You can have more resources because you have a place to store it. Shelter is usually only buildable on locations with the shelter location. They're plains. They're little shelter. So in other words, not plains, they're clearings in the forest. So you basically are saying, I'm not going to build a house in the middle of the canopy. I'd have to chop all this wood down. I just don't have the energy for it. I'm going to build a house in a clearing where it's already clear. So you're kind of hunting for optimal building locations. And that's what those are. Normally, without playing York, that's where you're limited to in building a shelter, is in a clearing. What York is saying is, if I'm going to explore and I go, I know that location has vines in it. That's I'm guessing right now before I reveal it, it'll be vines. And I'm going to exhaust York to make that guess. And then you explore that tile and it is vines. You can build a shelter in that vine location. You don't have to necessarily wait to build a shelter in a clearing once you finally find a clearing that you can do that in. So York lets you build housing anywhere and not having to worry about your fatigue and storing stuff in your backpack is a huge benefit in this game. So York is going to be somebody I look at playing soon. But for the training mission, we're going to be playing Lewis. That's okay. And finally, we have Collins. I love the artwork on Collins. That's so great. Collins is a fast learner. Exhaust him, and you can use any ability from a character that isn't exhausted. Ooh, that's fantastic in a multiplayer context. So if you're playing this co-op with friends or family, that's going to come in handy. That's amazing art. Okay, so we're playing Lewis. Again, reminder for Lewis. I can get more resources when I explore, but I have to tap him before I make that choice. So that's who we're playing. We will put our characters off to the side for now. Yeah. Yeah, we'll put it over here because we may play somebody different when we play the fauna map. Okay. Now. Yeah. Some characters are restricted based on the chapter being played. Okay. Each player selects a number of gear cards based on total number of players. Well, I guess that means I'm shuffling them. But I don't know. If you want an easier game, one player can add the training gear called medicine. Oh, I guess you're choosing them. It says selects. It doesn't say draw randomly. Okay, so what do we have? We have a lot of stuff. Here's medicine. We're definitely taking medicine. This is our very first game. It's a training game. So we're taking medicine. And I get to exhaust this card to refresh either my character or one of my gear. But if you use this card during a multiplayer game, you end up having to earn more points. Oh, and training gear does not count towards your gear limit. That's nice. Okay, so one of the three. Oh, no, that's in addition to. Okay, cool. Because it says doesn't count towards my gear limit. So I'm going to do 3 here. Oh, there's so many good things. Huh. Oh, Here's one. If you guess correctly before you explore, I'd have to exhaust the card to do it, which means I can only do it once per day, I think. Then instead of the icon coming off and being used as a counter in the game, so the game ticks down, you spend less time, you spend more and more time the more you look around. Great. Cool. Okay. Okay. You spend, sorry, I had to take a look at a note there. So you spend less of the time to explore. You've got a compass to help you navigate. So you're not going to be eating up time quite so quickly. You're going to be able to get more done. So I'm going to take compass for one of my gear. That's going to help me get more done if I can deduce the puzzle well. I want to make sure that, yeah, delightful. Great. Okay, good. There's nothing on there saying to do anything different. Destiny cards. Interesting. Destiny cards are, they go here. Is that what these are? That's probably not Destiny that I get. Let's read Destiny real quick. I don't know. But either way, I don't know if I get 2 Destiny. It looks like I do. 2 Destiny cards to start the game, but discard the resource or water you just gained from exploring to take a Destiny card. That's pretty nice. I might do that. Mortar and pestle. Like discard any 2 resources or water and gain a different resource or water. Not going to go with that. Resources are pretty hard to come by. I mean, that gives you some flexibility to trade, but jar. Place 1 resource, not water, from the supply board onto this card. At night, return that resource plus 1 more of the same type to the supply board. Why? I don't know why you would want to do that. To the supply board. I'm not sure why I would want a jar. Maybe just extra storage? I don't know. Captain's Logbook. Swap a face-up challenge card with another challenge card. Neither can have any path tokens on them. Ooh, so once you've started spending time towards one of these challenge cards, you can't use this card to swap it. So you're really only saying, in the future, I don't want to deal with whatever that is. It says with another challenge card. Does that mean one of the other ones that are face up? Because that would limit my options. I don't know. That's a maybe. I might take that. A sextant. Ooh. Exhaust after I explore. That's different. If you explore and find a resource you currently don't have, reveal a new challenge card for the next day. Why would I want that? Just so I know what's coming? Maybe. I don't know. That's a maybe. Okay, tracking guide. Exhaust after explore again. That's nice. Do not gain the resource or water from exploring. Discard that path token and explore again. Ooh. Ooh. That's pretty good. I'm going to put that on my list. I have 1 more to pick. Okay. Flint. Exhaust. Build a fire for 1 stone or 1 wood. And what does it normally cost? It says here 2 wood or 2 stone. So it's half as expensive to build a fire. Fire is interesting because, among other things, it grants you the ability to backtrack on your path. Move backwards on treaded ground that you've already tread. That's a strong maybe. We have 1 more to pick from. Box of goods, removed from play. So if I take this box of goods and I open it, the card goes away. I don't tap it, it's gone. And then I gain any 1 resource I want. At the end of the day, +4 to your score, if you still have this gear, can only be selected at the start of the game. Wow. Nah, that's more of a medium, like a moderate or a advanced card. I'm not quite to that level of play yet. Canteen. During setup, take water from your supply and place it on this card. From my supply. Okay. Remove from play, places water. So this is like a get out of jail free card, similar to the box of goods, the challenge, right? Maybe you don't need to use that water. Sounding horn, exhaust. Swap, exhaust the card, swap your refreshed character with one from the reserves. I'm not going to try to swap characters this game. That's just too complicated for right now. Okay, so our two maybes comes down to flint or satchel. Build a fire for easier, or take a destiny card. Well, let's look at destiny cards, because that's what it's going to come down to. Let me find a section of the rule book that talks about destiny cards. So far, I'm liking the way this book is laid out. It's seeming to be very easy to understand. There's the training mission. I should probably read that. 2 destiny cards. So these are all just missions after that. Okay, well, then let's just look at the deck. We'll look at one, and then we'll shuffle these all up. Oh, they're single-use goodies. Okay, well, let me move these out of the way slightly. So if I took a destiny card, then this is an example of a destiny card. Can you see that, or is it cut off? You can see that. Great. So this is a spyglass. I would, if I had this in my hand, something I could use, I would choose to discard it and look at 2 paths on the edge of the map. So I can't look deep into the map, but I can look around the edges. So this would be an example of taking a destiny card would mean letting me have that item. What I don't know is, do you see more than 2 destiny cards for a given game? Do you even have destiny cards in the training mission? I don't know. Let's take a look. Choose compass as your gear card. This is the only gear used. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is the training mission. I will use those other 2 in addition to the compass when we play the real map. Put our water here on our board. Take these cards off. I am debating about this destiny card. We're not going to use them for the training game, but we are going to use them shortly thereafter when we load the regular game up. Okay, so I shuffled those up. And those are both really good. Those are both really good. We're going to have to make a hard choice when we get done with the training mission. But for now, we have Lewis. We've got water, 3 water. Yep. Okay. The training map, these 3 rows and columns, the outer edges, 3 of the 4 outer edges are blank. The map is smaller because we're just learning. Okay, from the fauna folder, choose one of the training maps. We did that. We did that. We did that. Instead of a reference card, a reference board, there's a reference card, which is what we're using. It contains 5 of the total resources that normally appear in the game. It contains water, vines, wood, and whatever that is. There's got to be a name for it. It doesn't have a name there either. Cool. Resource tokens. Maybe it's on the back of the book. Aha. It's mud. Oh, I kept thinking it was like the slice of a wood block, but it's not. It's mud. Okay. Interesting. I guess that makes sense, right? You can't build stuff without mud when you're in the field like that. Ending your turn, ending the game. Training. All right. So it has water, vines, wood, and mud and stone. Those are the 5 resources we're going to find in the training mission. Reveal any threat card with a minotaur and place its matching token on D4. What? Oh. Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do we shuffle those or what do we do? Doesn't say what we do, so let's take a look at threat cards. Create threat deck. Threat deck comes in 2 types, monsters and misfortunes. To create the threat deck, select all monster cards and all misfortune cards that are specified by the chapter you are playing. Then randomly select 2 misfortune cards and shuffle them together. Place the deck face down, leave it. Okay. Okay, well, it's saying are these, this is the standard game. These are the misfortune cards. Ah, okay. I don't think it matters for this one, but give those a shuffle. Okay. Okay, now. These are threats. These are minotaurs. Got it. Okay. These are challenges. Those are threats. These are minotaurs. So we're going to shuffle these minotaurs up because not all minotaurs are created equal, apparently. These are different kinds of minotaurs. There are 4, and in the regular game, we're going to be trying to find 3, which means at any given time, 3 out of the 4 of these will be active. You won't know exactly which combination of the 3 that you'll have. Okay, we're going to go after this guy. Monster Minotaur. Reveal any threat card with a Minotaur and place its matching token on D4. Matching token. I have a bunch of Minotaur tokens, and they're not... Okay, there is one that matches its art. D4, D4, here. Okay. And by the way, if you're curious, now this is a red green screen, but it's a red screen, so you're going to see not very much of that. Let me move it over here, maybe on the black background. You can see it a little bit better, but maybe kind of with the light glare, it's a little tough. There, you can kind of see it. The artwork is great. The Minotaur card is great. The D4, right? That's what it said? Yeah. So here's the Minotaur card. The artwork is pretty glorious, not going to lie. That's pretty great. Being carried away by a Minotaur. So good. Place a Minotaur token on if day, explored skull terrain. If night, westernmost explored path. So he's coming out of the woods, basically. Discard any one resource or water to explore a path in its row or column. How to remove it? Resolve a kill Minotaur card. Oof. Okay. Got it. We'll figure that out in a minute. Find the kill Minotaur card that requires you to make ammo. Oh, okay. That's this card. Kill a Minotaur card. Make a spear, make trap, make ammo. Okay, got it. So far, so good. Move these off to the side. We're not going to use destiny cards this training game, so I'll move those off to the side. We've already done our gear, so we'll move those off to the side. I don't know about challenges yet. Okay, all the standard game rules apply with the following exceptions. There is no explore bonus. You will not gain a reward when you explore the last unexplored path in a column or row. So you will not use destiny cards in the training mission. So that's how you get destiny cards normally, is you either explore all the tokens in one path or all the tokens in another, or sorry, column or row. But since we don't get that bonus in the training mission, we don't get destiny bonus cards. That's fine. There is no field terrain, so you cannot build a shelter. Oof. You only need one food token to feed the crew after the first day. You don't need to feed the crew after the second day. Oh. During the night, if there is no monster in play, you will not draw a new threat card. Only one monster will be in the training mission. Hills. In the training chapter, the number on a hill indicates how many water there are in the row and column that hill is on. Oh. Okay. Huh. The 2 on this hill, in the example. 2. Where do you see 2? Means that there are 2 total water in this row and column. I don't see a 2 in your example. But okay, fair enough. I understand. You will lose the training mission if you are required to discard any water tokens that have none on the supply board, meaning you die of thirst. You win the training mission if you resolve all 6 challenge cards. Oh, I guess we're using challenge cards. Okay. The land is beautiful and bountiful and worth exploring further. Got it. Not 100% sure. The challenge is survive 2 days. That means that's why there's 6 challenge cards, because you get 3 challenge cards per day. To survive, you need water. If you are ever required to discard water and you cannot, you die of thirst and lose the game. These unexplored lands are unforgiving, but the search for water is far from the greatest challenge you will face. Great. Okay. I don't know that we're going to get to the printed out map today. I think we're going to end up just barely getting through this training mission at the rate we're going, but that's okay. That's all right. Hi, we are playing or stumbling through an unboxing and setting up and playing the training mission for Core of Discovery, brand new board game that showed up on my door at 6 o'clock last night. Didn't have a chance to read it, so we're just doing it live, as they say. So I'm just kind of learning. I'm learning as we go. I'm doing the training mission. The training mission is something that you will see if you buy this game and play it. But the purpose of this game is, the purpose of the training mission is not to, win. The purpose is just to learn the mechanics. So I figured if I'm going to show anything on the stream, the training mission's an okay thing to show. Plus, there's actually more than one training map. So if you really wanted to not know anything, you could just play the other version of this map and you wouldn't be spoiled. So there you go. Okay. So all the other rules apply. There's just easier ways of dealing with food. So let's keep on going with the regular setup now that we know the situation. All right. We ignore the destiny cards. We find the approach the arch challenge card. So as I understand it, this challenge card is always the first card because it gives you 5 sunshine tokens before you're forced to try to complete it. If you don't have the stuff to meet this challenge by the time you run out of time, then and you can't spend the cost, which in this case is 1 wood, then you will fail. So if we accumulate 5 suns on this card, then we will have to pay the 1 wood. If we fail to do that, we will gain a berry but lose a water. If we do succeed, we just gain the berry. So that's the easy kind of very first mission. Now, everything else I believe is randomized. Place it in the leftmost space in the challenge row. Got it. Take the core challenge cards with no chapter icons on them. Let's make sure that none of these have chapter icons on them. Yeah, great. Okay. And the chapter specific challenge cards and shuffle them together. Well, I'll shuffle these first. And then I'll go after those. Now, because we're playing the challenge, or we're playing the training mission, right? So does it have us, is that considered a fauna challenge? I don't know. I don't know. No, it's a different set of icons. So we're just going to go with regular old challenge cards. Okay, let's not make this more complicated than it needs to be. I heard you. Got it. Now, let's see. Yeah. Shuffle them together. Place 1 challenge card from the deck face up in one of the 2 remaining spots, or both remaining 2 spots. Got it. 1. Rainstorm, build a shelter. Ooh, but I can't build a shelter. So I'm guessing, let's make sure that the training mission says you're not going to be building shelters because there's no planes. Ending your turn, end of the game. Yeah. So I am going to remove build a shelter. If I can't successfully complete it because the map doesn't contain that, then I'm not going to be held accountable for that one. Okay, make a decoy. I can do that. And windstorm. Okay. Now, let's take a look at monster tracks, make a decoy. After we get done with approaching the arch, we're going to get 3 suns worth of time in order to accumulate a wood, whatever the skull token means, and water. And if we spend those tokens after we run out of time for this, we will pass, and then we will get the good stuff. It'll still cost us water if the explore that we take during that pass action is a certain thing. If we fail, though, it'll cost us 2 water, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that one means. You're not going to give that to me, are you? That figures. I'll figure out what that icon means later. And I gain a lock token. Okay. Don't know why I would want a lock token, but we will find out, I guess. And then windstorm. Build a reinforced wall. This also requires, it takes 3 suns worth of time. We get that, and then we have to complete it. We have to turn in a mud, a stone, and 2 water. Because we're trying to build a reinforced wall, so that's why we require mud and stone water. If we succeed, then we gain a stick. If we fail, we lose 3 water, 2 sticks, and whatever that is. Oh, that is a token, like a sunshine token. Oh, it's a fatigue penalty. I don't know why. Have no fatigue penalty. I don't know what that means. But we'll get there. We will resolve those in due course. We now only really have to worry about approaching the arch. Mm-hmm. What happened to that deck of cards? Did I put it way over there? I should not have put it way over there. That's going to end up being here for more cards. Okay. Okay. Each day will have 3 new challenges, and you will play multiple days during a game. Place the challenge deck face down nearby and leave a space for a discard pile. Okay. Add 8 water tokens. In the training round, we only get 3, so that's why we have 3. Create a threat deck. Do we still create a threat deck in the training mission? Threat deck. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we're going to build that threat deck. It says threat cards come in 2 types, monsters and misfortunes. To create a threat deck, select all monster cards and all misfortune cards that are specified by the chapter you're playing. Okay. So here's our threats. These are misfortunes. Okay. And these are fauna. I think we have our monster already. So does that mean that I just, randomly select 2 additional misfortunes and shuffle them together? How strange. They need to have this game setup be more inclusive for the training game. Because I'm running through this going, what do I do for the training game? What do I do for the training game? What do I do for the training game? Because the training game instructions don't talk about how to create a threat deck or what to do with challenge cards. It just says these are all the same rules except for these things, which is great and all, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, well, I shuffled the threat deck with the misfortunes in it. And I'm taking those 2 because I know that there are 2. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have them. Randomly, let's see. Threat cards come in 2 types, monsters and misfortunes. To create the threat deck, select all monster cards and all misfortunes that are specified by the chapter you're playing. And I looked at the chapter and I'm not seeing any specifications for them. If there is no monster in play, you will not draw a new threat card. Only 1 monster will be in the training mission. Oh. So what I'm reading into that is that you don't need a threat deck because you're not drawing new threats and the monster's already out on the board. That's how I'm reading it. What happens during the night phase? If there are no monsters in play, draw a threat. If it's a monster, then it will tell you where to place it. Path priority can be found on the back of the rule book. Is required only multiple paths. Got it. Yeah. If one of the northernmost explored paths is a food, then place the monster there. Got it. Deal out 3 new challenge cards for the next day. Reminder, if the threat card injured is in play, it takes the space of one of the challenge cards, reducing your time for the next day. Ah, interesting. Refresh all character and gear gear cards, the next day begins. Oh, okay. 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 Okay, now let's take a look at the logic. We're getting into wanting to play the game very soon. I think probably right now. So let's take a look at the training mission logic rules. The first icon or first set of icons in the upper left, the water and the stakes, right? Water is always orthogonally adjacent to at least one wood, and wood is always orthogonally adjacent to at least one water. So we know with some amount of odds what we're going to find when we find either water or sticks. The next one down is, I'm looking for it, vines are always, I'm looking. Gameplay, okay. If I'm reading that right, there will always be one vine in the same column as stone. And there will always be one stone in the same column as there is one vine. That's how I'm reading that. The last one on the left column is wood, and it says there is exactly one wood in every row and every column. In every row and in every column. I'll move that up here so you can see a bit better. Yeah, okay. Then the upper right side, it says mud and water, right? Okay, mud always has at least one water and at least one rock orthogonally adjacent to it. And then all are connected, not all on the edge, unpassable. So that's mountains, like we talked about at the beginning. The mountain range is contiguous and it's not located in the middle of the board. Finally, hills don't have rules on how they're found, so they can be anywhere. When found, you will get information and gain another turn. Oh, that's nice. See terrain activation on page 11. Okay, we'll get to that when we find one. A field is the, does it say that? No, that's it. Okay, we don't have to worry about the rest of that. Okay, so that's it. We will refer back to this as needed as we play. So let me quickly look at the board and see how far we need to be zoomed in. I think I can get away with giving you this look, maybe. That's a little bit zoomed out. There we go. Come in here. That looks a little hot, doesn't it? Can you still see that? That looks a little blown out to me. Oh, these touch controls can be a little tight sometimes. Okay, we'll go with that. That's pretty good. And now let's go to exposure. We can lower the exposure a touch and see what that's going to do. It's probably much better. Now you can see that a little bit more. Okay. So now what I'll do is I will come back here. And then let's push in nice and close so you can see the player board here. Okay, so it kind of gives you a good look. All right. Now you can get an idea of kind of what we got going on here. Yeah, that's good. So these are our objectives. These are the things we've got to get done today, by the end of the day. So our current day will last for 5 + 3 + 3, 11 movement or 11 explore actions. Because every time we explore, every turn we do an explore, and every explore we take one of these tokens off, and those become the sun that we stack on here. So we're going to get 11 of those before the end of the day, which means we have to complete all 3 of these, or we elect not to complete one. We may, for example, not care about this water in exchange for maybe doing this one, because this one's going to require 1 water and this one's going to require 2 water. So we might want to hoard our water and just, well, this one requires 1 stick. Let's see if we get another stick. We may not need to worry about hoarding the stick. Yeah, we'll see how we go. Okay, now let's see how we start. There are free actions, I should say. There are 8 standard free actions in the game. They are, let's see. Yeah. Other than exploring, we can use a character ability for free. We can use a gear card for free. You can't really see that, but they're the cards, the characters that we have in the gear that we are getting. We can remove a threat card. In this case, it's just killing the Minotaur. We can use a destiny card. We don't have destiny cards in this version of the game. We don't need these. I'm just trying to clean up my play space a little bit here. We can build a shelter, although in this version of the game, there are no shelterable spaces. We can build a fire. We can backtrack if we have the fire resources to do it, or we can discard a resource token. All of those we can do for free at any time. Okay, so let's do our core explore a path action. Every turn you will explore a path by removing a path token from a space and revealing the terrain underneath. You then gather or use resources from the revealed terrain and place it in your backpack. A path token covers each of the circular spaces on the map board. These circular spaces are called paths. If a path has a path token on it, it is an unexplored path. If a path has been as the path token has been removed, it is referred to as an explored path. Yeah. Yep. Got it. Right. Right. Rules for exploring. I know all the details enough to be able to keep doing this. Yeah. Yep. The explored paths represent the trail of the expedition. There are no player pawns to track positions on the map board. Every path you explore after the first must be orthogonally adjacent to a path that has already been explored. However, you cannot explore from a path that has a rock or a monster on it. They both block progress unless you can access that path from another direction or remove the monster. They are circled in red to remind you of this. Monster threat effect. If you explore a path that is affected by a monster threat effect, then you must discard any 1 resource or water before you can explore that path. Oh, that's why these arrows are on this board. Oh, well, let me see if it'll let me store this view. If it will, it won't. That figures. Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll come over here, see if it'll let me store this, and then I will shrink that down and move it forcibly into place. Yeah. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's good enough. Hello. Ah, yes, first, hello. Yes, you are. Oh, hey, thanks for the sub. my audio alerts are not helping. Are not working right now. That's really annoying. But at least I saw your sub, and you're sub number 1. Thank you very much for the sub. My very first sub. Shade is in the house, y'all. Outstanding. Oh, good. I'm glad you heard and saw the confetti. That's good. I wish I did. That's all right. I'd get up and fix it, but I can't be arsed. Not today. Not today. Okay. So let's look at the map, though, because what I'm seeing is this icon is meant to be placed like that. So the monster is actually affecting all this stuff in the row and the column that it's on. That means I have to burn extra resources to explore those. Me don't like to do that. So, okay, that's good to know. I have to discard any one resource or water before I can explore that. You don't like that. Okay, remove the path token. Select a valid path that you can access using the rules for exploring. Yeah. I love how it expects me to know where to start exploring from. Can I enter anywhere on the board? I don't think so. I think I have to enter from the right side because I'm exploring east to west. But yeah. Where am I missing that? I mean, admittedly, I'm scanning, but come on. There's got to be. Yeah. Okay. The first explorer of the game. The mission briefing of a chapter will indicate where the first explorer of the game can be done. Start in column 7. Hey, look at that. Read the instructions. Okay, column 7 is this one here, so I'm right. We're coming in on the right side of the board. Well, we know that if we cross this row or this column, we're going to have to spend more time exploring, or more water, more resources to explore. I don't like that. We also know that the mountain range is somewhere down in this neck of the woods. We also know that the outer edge of this map, 3 of these 4 outer edges are not populated because this is the training map. So that really means that I can either come in here, 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 or here. I'm not going to come in here because I don't want to deal with a resource hit by this monster being here. I don't want to come in here because I'm more than likely going to run into this mountain really quickly. So I think we're going to come in here. And I think we want to come in here because that gives us a little room to explore here and here without having to come in down in this area and monkey with the monster too much. Okay. We have an initial thought. First of all, we remove this path token and we immediately find water. That's great. Let me zoom in on the map. That's too far. You guys can't see that. Let's see. That's better. Yeah, that's good. You can see that reasonably well, I think. Okay. So we just discovered our very first location, which was water. And we placed the sun token that we just uncovered, which is the other side of this token, on our first challenge of the day. Because every time we explore, we spend time, and the time is ticking down on our clock to be able to complete the first challenge. Okay. By the way, Shade, I should mention, this is the Ultimate Deluxe Edition of Core of Discovery. This board that you're looking at here, this is not cardboard. This is UV printed multi-layer wood. It's delightful. The the resources are also wood, and they are also UV printed and shiny and beautiful. They come in this really cool, like, combination plastic and cardboard printed tray. Really kind of ingenious solution. I find that fantastic. The game is built on exploring maps, right? And so these are map pages that are slotted into the board. And there are so many different maps for this, with lots of different types of scenarios that kind of change up how the game plays. So even if you play through the same maps multiple times, you're going to have so many different maps between the time that you play that you're never going to remember all 49 locations and where every little detail is. There's so much replayability, because even though the maps you may see again, you may not encounter the same map for quite a while. And that's only if you decide to go back and play something again. And there's so many expansions. You can print out maps. Yeah, me too. Really, it's pretty good. It's pretty good so far. They did a really nice job on the production value. So really, really enjoying it. And the box isn't huge, which has been nice for these kinds of like deluxified games. It's just a standard game box. Anyway, back to the game. But I thought that was cool. Wanted to show that off. Okay, so we uncovered water. That's good. We removed the path token. We put it on the leftmost challenge card. We activate the terrain. And because we expose this terrain, that means we activate the water space. You may collect more resource or water than you have space in your backpack, but you will need to discard down to 6 resources and 10 water by the end of your turn. Oh, that's nice. You cannot take any other action between steps 1 and 2 when you explore a path. Okay, so we now know that we just gain a water. So we started out the game with training mission with 3 water. We now have 4 water. I've taken that water and put it on the player board. Okay. Now let's figure out what that tells us, though. Let's go back and look at the logic rules for exploring, because this is important for us to know how we play the game. We know where we have water now, right? So let's go look at this training card again. This says that water is always orthogonally adjacent to at least 1 wood, and wood is always orthogonally adjacent to at least 1 water. That means we know where water is. It's right there, right? Which means we know now that this location here, which I did not see, this location here, this location here, and this location here, those are all possible now locations for wood. We also know that mud always has at least 1 water and at least 1 rock orthogonally adjacent to it. So there's a pretty good chance we're going to find either a mud or a wood in one of these 3 locations. We know that. Which of those? I couldn't tell you. And we're playing Lewis. This is, oh, and by the way, thanks for joining. Really quickly, I will say that this is an alternate reality universe of the Lewis and Clark expedition. This is based on a graphic novel, and playing Lewis of Lewis and Clark. But the differences are, in this version of the game, we are not behaving genocidally towards the Native American, the indigenous nations of this land. We are instead forming uneasy alliances with them to defeat the common enemy, which is these essentially monsters. There's monsters that the entire world is dealing with, and the local nations have information about them. They've been dealing with them for longer than we have. So we're here trying to do our expedition. We encounter these monsters, and with the help of the indigenous nations, we then try to defeat them. So we are monster hunter Lewis and Clark, essentially, working with the indigenous nations, not against. So that is the theme that we find ourselves in, and there are multiple scenarios, multiple chapters, multiple types of things we can play. There are fauna missions. This is the stuff with the monsters and the minotaurs. There are flora missions where there's like giant man-eating plants that we have to deal with. There's fog of war missions that kind of change things up and make things difficult to navigate and mess with the rules. There's even co-op maps and also like hidden trader maps, which you're playing with multiple people. You can play with hidden trader rules. If that's what you want to do, there's so much. There's insects, like giant man-eating insects, which obviously I'm not the biggest fan of either. So I'm probably not going to play those as a priority, but I might play them eventually. So all of that being said, there's just a ton of content for this game already, and the deluxe ultimate edition that I have here shipped with all 4 expansions in it. And then I bought additional map packs on top of that. So I'm swimming in content for this game. So I'm playing Lewis. Lewis, if I decide to exhaust Lewis before I explore, and I discover resource, location, or water, then I gain 2 of that instead of 1. So I want to try to use my deduction skills as much as I can, because it will let me gain more of what I find. And since we're on the deduction land, I also have a compass in the training game, which lets me exhaust before I explore. And if I correctly guess the terrain you're about to explore, discard the path token. In other words, don't put it on a challenge card and tick the clock down. That token just goes away and doesn't affect my clock at all. And I think I get to use that once per day. I think that's how that works. Let me make sure that I'm right, but I'm nearly certain I am correct. That the days, how the days work. Yep, backpacks, ending my turn. Aha. So what does that do? Free actions, resolve a challenge card, time limits. Yeah. Okay. I'm learning as we go, because this game just arrived on my doorstep last night. So this is just a learning as we play kind of a game today. Very informal. Yeah. Okay. We did that. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. We did all that. We did all that. Don't need to do that. Ending your turn. Discard down to 6. Resolve challenge card. Check to see if the leftmost challenge card has reached its time limit. It has not. Otherwise, pass to the turn to your left. In this case, I'm playing solo, so we just go again, I think. Okay, great. End of the day. Once all 3 challenge cards for the day have been resolved. So I just keep playing. I just keep exploring, keep collecting stuff, and then using my free actions until I run out of time, until all 3 of these challenge cards have been resolved. Got it. Feed your troops at the end of the day. So I have an expedition force with me, and I have to feed them. So I have to find food before the end of the day. So one of my tasks is finding food. Now the arch will give me food, because that is this is our first objective, which is approaching the arch. It requires 5 sun tokens to have passed before we have to attempt it. I've only accumulated 1 so far, but if we successfully pass it, we will get food. So maybe I use that food to feed my people. All right, so let's take a look at where we want to go. We have water. We know we're going to find a stick and a mud in one of those 3 locations. So the last one is a mystery to us. Let's explore one more time to try to reduce our odds a little further. Let's explore inland. We'll go here. We'll go here. We're not going to use any of our fancy tools. Ah, dang it. We found a stick. All right. I was hoping I might not find the stick right away. Because, I mean, I want that, but. So let me pop back out to the main view. We don't quite need it quite that zoomed in. Focus, focus, focus. Come on, camera. There you go. I knew you could do it. Okay. So now you can see a little bit better what we got. We have our backpack with 1 stick. We have our 4 water. Now, let's look at our stick rules. We know we're going to find more water again, right? We also know that there's only 1 wood per column and per row. So we're not going to find another wood in that column, and we're not going to find another wood in that row. We know that that's the case. So let's keep that in mind. That means from this water location that we have a 50-50 shot of one of these being mud. We need mud, but not right away. So, what else do we want to do? We could just keep exploring close to the monster, because he's not going to move. Sure. I don't think I have enough information to guess accurately yet. So I don't really want to risk it. So, water. Let's just keep exploring. We have the stick to pass the arch. So at this point, I don't really care. I don't think I'm going to win, but okay. So now we have 3 suns on the first mission. We only have 2 more left, but we found a vine. Is there rules for vines? Yes. So we know that we will find a vine in the same column as we find a stone, and vice versa. Now, what does that mean? Well, we know the peak of the mountain is here. So that tracks, right? That is in the same column, so that makes sense. And it didn't actually tell us any new information. We just knew we would find a vine somewhere in that column. Maybe. Do I guess 50-50 that this is mud? Do I need more than 1 mud? I don't. I don't need more than 1, so there's not really a need to tap Lewis right now. I kind of want to go north from the stick because I think we might find more water. And we only have a 50-50 chance of that. But then again, this has already been resolved, so it may not have more water next to it. Yeah. Let's go north from the stick. More vines. Wonderful. What do I do with vines anyway? In this version of the game, none of them really have a requirement. I don't really need more vines. What do you use vines for? You don't know. I can discard, though, if I'm really worried about it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I'm sure I could probably craft something. There's got to be something else I'm working on. Is there something else I can do? Set up the main board. Players choose characters and gear cards. In the setup, though, is that the only gear card I get for this version of the game? For this training mission? Choose compass as your gear card. This is the only gear used. Oh, bummer. Okay. Can you craft anything? I'm pretty sure you can, I thought. But maybe not. Maybe you're not crafting so much as just spending the resources on the objectives. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah. What do we need to take down the monster? We need to... I wonder, should we spend some water to cross that section of the Minotaur here, this one here, to get over to this section? I'm trying to work my way around this mountain. I don't need the stone right away. And I have a fairly good idea where I can find mud. So I don't really need to explore much. These vines are kind of getting in my way, but I can discard them. That's fine. Okay. Trying to figure out what I want to do with the stuff I'm getting. I don't want to just discard vines. Yeah, there's fauna. We're not playing fauna right now, though. Okay. All right. Well, it said that we have to spend a resource to cross the monster's path. Right? Is that what it said? Yeah. If you explore a path that is affected by a monster threat effect, you must discard any one resource or water before you can explore that path. Oh, resource or water. I don't have to get rid of water? Sweet. I will discard this vine that I don't need anyway. And I will explore across the monster. I'll go this way. And we found some mud. That's good. We need some mud for later. Okay, we're still not, we haven't filled our backpack up to the point where we're accumulating fatigue yet. So that's good. I would like to find another stick, though. And being on the same row is not going to help me do that. But what am I going to do about that? I need more wood. I have 4 out of the 5 times, so I'm about to spend that wood on the arch. Maybe we just keep moving on to the next section. Yeah, because we're not in any danger right now of not getting that done. So we'll move on. Ooh, we got another water. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Okay, now, we now have to complete this. This is our first challenge that we're completing because we've accumulated 5 suns on top of this first challenge. Check to see if the leftmost challenge card has reached its time limit. It has. If the time limit has been reached, resolve the challenge card to determine if it was a pass or a fail. Well, we need food in order to feed our troops for this round, so we might as well get this one done. Otherwise, pass the turn. Okay, time limits, right? How you pass the challenge. In order to pass the challenge, you need to discard every resource / water listed above the pass-fail columns or have the requested items like fire. If you have met all the requirements and choose to discard all required resources, then you pass the challenge. Okay, so easy enough. I have 1 wood. That is the requirement of approaching the arch. So I discard that and I gain 1 food. Nice. Done. Okay, I did that. You can choose not to pass a challenge even if you meet the requirements. This is usually done to keep the resources for something else. If you choose not to pass, the challenge is considered a fail and then resolve the fail stuff. Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah. After resolving a challenge card, regardless of whether you passed or failed, discard the card from its space onto the supply and all of the path tokens that were on it. Okay, so all of these come off, and this comes off, and this comes here. I'll just set these off to the side, I guess, for now. Okay. Then you must resolve the consequence indicated on the space revealed from the discarded challenge card. Each consequence will check if you are fatigued and resolve any active consequence of X. So the thing says consequence. When revealed, lose 1 water if you are fatigued. I am not, because I'm not carrying too much. And resolve any monster that has consequences. Resolve any monster that has consequences. I do not have a monster that has consequences. I have effects, but that's all. Okay, got it. Next. I'm not fatigued. Let's move on. Great, moving on. I think we just keep on exploring. Keep it on. Okay, well, now wait a minute. So water tells me that we will find wood or mud orthogonally adjacent. We know we are not going to find it in the row because we already have wood in the row. So that means it's going to be here or here. Maybe because we need 1 more stick, maybe we discard another vine to go south from the water. Now the question is, do I guess that I'm going to find wood? Do I take a chance? I don't need more than 1 wood. Are we a doggo? Yeah, well, in this case, kind of. We are trying to get ready for this challenge. We know that a windstorm is coming, and we must build a reinforced wall. In order to do that, we need mud and stone, right, and water. So there you go. And to build this decoy, because we saw some monster tracks, we're trying to make a decoy, and that requires sticks, and I don't really know if that's bones or what that is. We'll find out. What do they call it? They call it skull. It really is just a skull. Okay, cool, great. So we're collecting sticks and skulls and some water to make a decoy. These are all challenges we have to get done this day. We've already done one of our challenges and successfully passed it. We don't need more than 1 wood. So I don't think because if I successfully, here's why I'm asking. I have these abilities. Lewis has an ability and he also has a compass, and we can exhaust either of those to get more stuff or spend less time. I have a 50-50 shot of guessing correctly in my next travel. So I'm kind of thinking we try burning the compass and see if we can get more time out of it. it's a 50-50 shot, but we might as well, right? I mean, let's take one chance. So Lewis is here. We'll get that out of the way and we'll put Lewis up there and this here. So we're going to tap the compass and we're going to try to say that that's a stick. We think that's a stick right here. It's a 50-50 shot, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it is. It's either that or it's mud. I don't know. We already have mud, so I'm hoping it's not mud. So I'm hoping that's wood. I'm tapping my compass ahead of time to guess that it's wood. And if I'm correct, then I don't... yeah, if you correctly guess the terrain you're about to explore, discard that path token. So in other words, I won't spend the time to explore here. I'll explore it, but it won't cost me any time because I used a compass. Okay, here we go. I am correct. I said it was wood and it was wood. Great, so this doesn't actually eat any time at all. I just discard it. Huzzah! But it did cost me a vine because it did cross the monster's path. So I did lose the vine. It cost me a resource and I don't need vines, so I'm discarding them to travel freely. But the good news is now I can explore for free up here. I can explore there. I can explore down here. I'm not going to find wood in this column now, and I'm not going to find wood in this row because I've already found the wood in those two. But I also got the wood because I did explore it. So I did get the wood. So I have the wood for this requirement. I don't yet have the skull. I do have the water. And I have the mud, but not the stone. But I know where the stone is and how to get to it. So that's easy enough. So I'm doing okay. I've got like 6 more turns, and I need to get my hands on. I've already found one of the resources, but I need to get my hands on the other. And that's the skull and the stone. So let's keep going. We know we have a stick here, or wood there. We've already found the wood, the water associated with it. So I think we just keep on trucking. I have no idea what the next space is, though. So let's just keep going south for now. It's water. Good. Okay. And that's kind of cheating because we have water and wood adjacent to this water already. So I don't think I'm going to find more wood adjacent to this water because that rule's already been satisfied. So mayhaps we go this way. Oh, that's already empty? Oh, okay, that's already empty. So I won't bother exploring that because I didn't realize that was empty. I should have looked at this map. That tells you where the empty spots are. In that case, the only options we have are to go right. We'll go down, I guess, then. Oh, okay. What do we have here? This is a hill. So we get to take another action for free. And we can tell from that symbol. So this is a hillside. And a hillside says, or a hill, when revealed, the path token from this explored path is discarded rather than added to the challenge card. Nice. Okay, so we didn't actually spend any time. That's cool. Hills also provide information as indicated on the chapter's reference board. The player who's explored a hill gets to take another turn. Well, that doesn't matter much for me. So what this tells me is that there are 6 water on the X and Y axis of this hill. We know of 2 of them already because we've already found these 2. So we know there's going to be a lot of water here and here. Now, these are already empty. We know that. The top row is empty. The bottom row's empty. So that really means we're going to find one more water here. We know it's a water. We know it's a water because it's the only token left. And we don't necessarily know that it's a water because there's two, and all of these four could be water. So knowing that the odds are low that we're going to find almost anything other than water left in this row or this column in this row, I think our next move is to go here. Or we could instead go here or here. Now, what does backtracking mean? I need to understand what backtracking means because I haven't made any fire yet because it's hard to make. But I'm not 100% on backtracking. Skull terrain, discarding, backtrack. After you explore a path, you can choose to discard 2 fire tokens from the supply to backtrack. This means that you do not activate that terrain. You do not collect the resources or trigger any special rules for that terrain. Simply replace the path on top of the... Oh, that's amazing. It's literally like as if you just chose not to do it. It is a literal... what's the word? It's literally like you noped out of the situation. You were like, ooh, nah. And you literally turn and go somewhere else. That's amazing. So, okay, so backtracking is not, here's what I was worried about. Backtracking is not about like going somewhere else on trail that you've already explored. It is literally noping your way out of a tile location. So you know that it's there. You're retconning, exactly. You know it's there, but you're like, no. So they actually built retconning into the game with backtracking. Very cool. Okay. Well, knowing that, I think maybe we start over here because what I'm trying to do is not spend resources to cut into the monster's line again if I don't have to. And I've explored enough where there's a few spaces left where I could just explore without having to spend more resources. And I'm really hunting for that skull location if I can find it. So let's explore up here. Let's explore up here because it's not on the monster's X and Y. Another vine. You know, I would be mad about it, except I get to spend the vines to cross the monster's path. In fact, we're out of storage space, so we should. We're gonna have a problem here next turn though, if we don't find that skull. Because we're not gonna be able to get this done. And we're out of time. We have 2 on this challenge. And the next exposure of these tokens means we're not going to find it. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend the vine to cross here. And we're going to hope that's the skull. Could be that it's a mountain. Do I risk it? Because it's right next to the peak. Do I risk this being a mountain? I need the stone, so I guess it's not the end of the world. And if I lose this decoy requirement, what happens? I lose 2 water. I've been able to find a fair amount of water, and I know where the hill is, so the hill's telling me where I can find water. So that's good. I don't really know that I care about missing out on that. But I want to know, are those other 2 symbols. I get a lock token, and I'm not sure what they do. So I would normally lose a destiny card, but I'm not playing with destiny cards. It's the training mission. So I don't have to care about that. That's good. What does a lock token do? Anybody know? Probably not. Brand new game. I don't know what a lock token does. Fail effect, pass effect. Yeah. You use that as the sample for sample tokens. What? What you talking about? Oh, hell no. Rude. I found out what it is. Oh, that sucks. Some challenge cards will tell you to gain 1 sample token. This token is placed in your backpack and takes up 1 free space. As a free action, you can discard 1 resource or water to also discard the sample token. If you gain a sample token when your backpack is full, you must discard a resource to accept the sample token. Rude. So if I fail this objective, I will gain a lock symbol, which will eat up a space in my backpack. Me don't like that. And I'm going to have to discard a resource later to get rid of that. That's tough. Well, do we explore here, 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 or here? I don't want to explore along the hills X and Y because the odds are really high that we find water. So I'm thinking we explore here or here. We could explore over here too, or really any one of these. My gut says explore this, even though it's likely a mountain. So we're going to do that. Oh, God, this feels like it's going to be a rock. Fine. Yeah, it's a vine. Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, we get the sample token. We get a vine. We spent a vine to do that explore anyway. So we really just got the vine back. The backpack is full, which means I have to discard the vine that I just got because it gets eaten up by... Honestly, I think what that really means is that it does this. So I think I'm going to discard that to avoid being fatigued. When does fatigue matter? At the end of the day? Or at the end of your turn? Fatigue is page 16. Okay. Oh. That's now. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and discard this as a free action. I don't want to be fatigued right now. I'll just get rid of the vine. I don't want to get rid of the vine, but I'd rather that than be fatigued. Okay, so here's how this works. This is the challenge that we just ran out of time on. And I did not have the skull, so I could not complete it. I have the stick, the wood, but I don't have the skull. So I didn't get the objectives done. So as a result, I lose 2 water. That sucks. Now we're down to 4 water. I lose a destiny card, which I don't have, and I gain the lock symbol. And the bad stuff happened. So the consequence is when revealed if lose another water if fatigued. Well, because I discarded down, I avoided the fatigue. And I don't have a monster out that has consequences, so I don't have to worry about that for this game. Okay, we have 1 left for this day. Then the day will be over. And we're going to play 1 more day, and then the game will be over. But that'll go quick because I'm understanding now what's happening. Well, we need stone. We have mud. And we have 2 water. We only get a stick for passing this, but we lose 3 water. And I don't want to lose the water, because if we lose the water, we lose all of the water left, then we lose the game because we die of thirst. So I could discard the stick to cross the monster's path. Now, how do I kill the monster? Make ammo. Have fire. Okay, so I don't want to discard the stick. And spend a rock. So to kill a minotaur, I have to make fire. I have to have fire, which in order to do that, I need to spend either 2 sticks or 2 stones. Break the bones. So I need to have a fire and spend stone. And I already know where the minotaur is, so I don't have to worry about tracking him down. So I really should be looking for sticks and more stone. Well, we know the stone. We know where the mountain is. So let's try going up here next. See if we can get the stone. It's free. Doesn't cost me a resource to explore there. I'm hoping. It's probably going to be mud, though. I can be fatigued as long as I don't stay fatigued. I could. Yeah. Let's explore up here. Ooh. What does that say? It says remove time. 3 remove time. What's interesting? No resource, discard path token, take another turn. But how come it says 3? Okay. Well, did I discard it, or what did I do with it? Or did I put it here? I probably put it. Did I have this here before? Does anybody remember? I don't remember. I think I didn't have this here. I think I put this here when I uncovered that, because I don't see it anywhere. And I just assumed it went there. Yeah. So I discard this and I go again. I don't get a token. I think there's 3 more of those in this row or column. That's what I think that tells me. Okay. We know a lot of water's in this row and this, or this column in this row. We know this is the peak. We know that's going to be stone. I'm trying not to get into the path of the minotaur if I can help it. I guess I could go here, but that's going to be water. Pretty sure. I just need to cut in to this area. So let's come down here. No, we need to find wood. But I'm worried about running into this stone again because I can't explore through stone. It blocks your travel. To that point, I could just come south from here. Maybe I might find another stick. Let's do that. Let's spend this wood to travel here. It's mud, of course it is. That does go here. And I get the mud. I'm going to discard the mud to be able to discard the blocking token. And now I'm going to explore here. And now I get some wood. That's good. Okay. I need the stone. Okay, well, it's our last turn. We know we need to get this stone, so let's get the stone. So that will at least take care of the requirements for this. So we'll go here for our last guess, which is indeed stone. That gives us a stone. We're not fatigued. We have the stuff to finish the requirements of this challenge. Therefore, we discard the mud, the stone, and 2 water. We're down to 2 water left. That's it. And so mud and then 2 water and stone. Okay. Now it is the end of the turn. But before we do that, we resolve that. We just get 1 measly little stick for free. But that's enough to build a fire, which is part of the requirement to build ammo. So that's good. In fact, let's build that fire right now. We're not fatigued, so we don't worry about the bad stuff. We don't have a monster that has consequences. So that is done. Let's build a fire. We'll discard 2 of these wood, and we will get a fire token. We'll put it over here in our little player board. Now we have a fire token. So now we have half the equation. We just need to find some more stone, but we know where the mountain is. And we have fire. So we should be able to kill that Minotaur pretty soon. It is the end of the day. Feed your troops at the end of the day. I will spend the food that I have left. And I successfully survived the night. If I did not have the food, we would have starved and lost the game. So we survived our first night. Or first day, I should say. At night, if there are no monsters in play, reveal a new threat card. There is a monster in play. Refresh all character and gear. I get my compass back. Hooray. Reveal 3 new challenge cards. Cold Snap. Bug Infestation. No thanks. Find Your Way. Okay, so our first objective for the day needs to have, I have no resources left. I have 2 water. And I need to find a stick, a stone, and water to pass. And if I pass, I get nothing. But if I fail, I lose the last 2 water, and then I die of thirst. So it's make or break time. I have 2 actions. And I'm pretty sure one of them has to be get stone so I can make ammo. And the other one has to be kill the Minotaur so that we can win this damn game before we lose the frickin' tutorial. So we'll see. Okay, we know where the mountain is. There's pretty good odds that there will be stone here, here, and here. I'm guessing that's going to be stone. I'm hoping that's going to be stone. Because if it's not, I'm going to have to guess that this is water. I'm hoping that this is water so that I can have at least 1 water left over. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I just cut bait and look for water. So I should come down looking. I can't come down. I can't explore through mountains. I have to explore from this. That's a problem. There's really good odds, a 75% chance that something in here is water. Because there's only one other option it can be up here. Because this, if you look here, these are the columns in red and rows in red that are unpopulated on the training mission. So I don't have to worry about any of that or any of these. That means this thing tells me is that what that says? That's not what that says. Oh, that is what it says. I think. Wait. Oh, yeah. That's what this says. So on the training mission, the X means water. So that means there's going to be 3 water here and here. Well, we already know of 1 on this one. So that means this could be water, or these two could be water. What we know about this, telling me that there's 6 water, tells me that this is pretty good odds of being water. So we're gonna pick this. We're gonna pick this as our next turn. It's water. It is water. Hey, oh, hey. Okay. I should have burned one of these characters to get 2 water there, but I didn't think of it in time. So I got water, but at least I know I'm not going to die if I fail this mission. So I need stone. I think that's stone. What does that mean? What does it mean? I don't know what it means. What does that mean? Those don't make any sense. Are you going to tell me? Or are you just going to make me wonder? What do you mean? Okay, so what I'm looking at this negative consequence right here. And it says $/water. I think that means lose a resource, and if you don't have any resources, lose a water. So it means I could still fail right now. But I don't think I will, because I think I'm going to end up with a resource, one way or the other. We have water. We have one more action left. We're looking for stone. We're going to go here and probably find stone. So, here we go. Nope, we found mud, but that's okay. We are not going to succeed. We're going to lose 2 water, and we're going to lose the mud we just got. That's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. We're not fatigued because we don't have enough stuff in our resources to... We don't have anything in our backpack. Okay. I need more stone. So the next objective, I shouldn't have been so hasty about the mud. I need 2 mud to cover my scent to avoid a bug infestation. And now I have 3 days to avoid that. Or I'm going to run out of water. Come on, stone. I think we're going to come down here. More water. That's not bad, though. And then we're going to come here. A stick. Oh, no. Oh, dear. This might be it. This might be it. If we can't find another stone, we are up a paddle, as they say. Maybe we go here and hope for water. It's going to have to be water. In fact, I'm so confident that these 2 are water because they're the only 2 left and we only have 4 of the 6. So they have to be water, that we are going to tap. I can exhaust them both, can't I? I think I should. I'm going to exhaust them both. Go for broke. So I'm exhausting Lewis. And Lewis lets me guess what I'm about to find. And if I'm right, I get 2 of them instead of 1. And the compass that Lewis has lets me spend less time searching that location. So it doesn't count against me when I do it. Yeah, okay, I'm good with that. We're going to go with that. That means I will get 2 water instead of 1, and it won't cost me any time. And I'm correct. It is water. So now I have 4 water. That's great. But it means that, oh no, I still have time. So technically, this hasn't triggered yet. That's good. I literally have 4 places left on the map to find stone. We know that these are now resolved except for this. This is water. So we don't need to go here. So we have this space, which is not water. And we have these 2 spaces that I guess technically could be water. I only have a stick to do 1, and that's a problem. I guess I can still discard water. So make or break, I guess. Let's come in close to this guy then. We'll discard a stick. Stone, thank God. Okay. So first and foremost, this did not happen. So I lose 2 water. I have 4. I lose 2 water, still alive. I gain a lock token. Don't care because I don't have any resources in my backpack anyway. Bad stuff happens. Cool. Well, not cool, but here we are. So now we have a stone and we have a fire. That is the requirement to kill a minotaur. Now, let's talk about killing minotaurs. Make sure I do this correctly, because I think at long last, somehow, without dying, I have managed to get what I need to kill the minotaur. Yeah. Monsters, monsters, monsters. Monsters. Yeah, let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, how do I kill le monster? I will be able to survive no matter what I do now. I have the resources to complete the cold snap. Because the cold snap requires me to have fire, which I currently have, and I'm not going to have to spend it to make the ammo, and 2 water, which I currently have. So I'm okay. I will be able to complete that. I just don't know how to kill this freaking minotaur, man. What's it say? How to remove. Resolve, kill a monster. Oh, that's all it is? Oh, that's probably a free action. Remove a threat. Yup. Okay, all right. So I will discard the stone, which I just got. I never drew it, but I did get it. So I have the stone. I will now discard the stone. I have fire, but it doesn't say I have to discard it. Discard this after use. Bam, it's gone. Then the minotaur comes off the board. Boom, he's dead. That does not mean we win. The ability to win is to survive 2 days. We're coming up on the end of the 2nd day right now. I have 3 actions left. I technically don't care. I have what it takes. But I'm no longer having to pay resources because the monster's not there slowing me down. So it doesn't matter. Let's go get some water because we know it's water. It's going to be this one. And we've already used our special objectives, so it's fine. We'll get that water. Mud, stone, and sticks. Got it. This is probably a vine. Let's go here. Actually, I'm kind of curious what's underneath the monster. Probably this. It's probably the skull I needed. Let's see. No, it's just another stone. Huh. Figures. Okay, we have 1 more. I'm guessing this is going to be a vine. Oh, it's just another stone. Huh. Interesting. There's all the stone I was hunting for that whole time. Okay, We have 2 stone. We now run out of time. We now must resolve this card. I have fire. I have 2 water. I discard 2 water. And I have successfully passed. And I gain another lock, which is fine, but my backpack is now full. And that discards that. The day is over. Let's say what happens. Once all 3 challenge cards for the day have been resolved and all the bad stuff happens, oh no. Oh no. How do I get food? Is there a way to get food? Because I could only get 1 food. What's under here? A stick? Okay. I don't know how you get food. Because I had the stuff, I did everything else. I technically lost because I couldn't feed my people at the end of the day. But I'm not sure how I'm supposed to get food because my cards never gave, the challenge cards I completed never gave me food. There weren't even any options. Every other challenge I had was not giving me food. Just the one at the very beginning. So, oh wait, no, that's not true. I didn't lose. I didn't lose because it says the special rules for training is you only need 1 food to feed the crew after the first day. You don't need to feed the crew after the second day. Never mind. Crisis averted. I successfully completed the training mission and didn't die. Huzzah, way for the tipper. If I can't manage to get a training mission done, we got bigger problems. But that being said, I have heard this game is quite tough. I can see that. I can see that. I got down to the wire and barely got those last couple things done. I can understand why people are like, woo, this game is hard. So this was just the training mission. And if you're watching this and thinking about buying it, don't worry about it. The training missions are double-sided. So if you're worried about playing the game and not having it spoiler, just play the other side of this map. But honestly, it's a training mission. You're not going to remember this anyway. Just don't watch the video right away. It's fine. You won't remember this. Not enough. And there's so many other maps. Just get the training done and move on with it. If you even want to do the training, you just watch the video and there, now you're trained. So this has been Core of Discovery. This thing has got legs for days. We're going to be able to play this thing for a while. If you like this game, let me know. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I think it's been a fantastic introduction. It was fun to do a live unboxing right here on the stream with everybody here, getting it set up and learning the game live on the stream. I've never done anything like that before. I've always been at least a little bit prepared. But I thought that was a fun thing to try to do, and I think it went quite well. So hopefully you'll come back, see me again next Sunday. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Thank you, Shade, for being my very first subscriber to my channel. I'm very much appreciating that, and I hope to see you again. Okay, catch you next Sunday. See you later, everybody.